All right, shalom to you, like giving all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh, Shem El Shai, Besham Kakadash, and giving double honor to the apostles and elders, a great millstone, who well, peace and salutation to elect, shalom, of course, and of course, double honors to the elder bishops of Great Millstone as well. Shemai Mappa from the Great Millstone Plaintables Camp of Philadelphia, just coming with a response to this video. Fair use warning at Ton Daniels, and this is your material. It's not mine. I'm only doing a response. Fair use is for educational purposes only. You have it here. This in particular, which Anton Jenners just put this together, but I believe this is from a collection of individuals on social media from the island of Jamaica, which the West Indies is the tribe of Benjamin. Okay, and they are Hebrew Israelites. All right, and they are one of the tribes of the Hebrew Israelites, being the tribe of Benjamin, which is Bunyamin in Hebrew, which means son of the right. Okay, and the prophecies fit them. And hey, even this will show you about the prophecies fitting them. You have it say, "Don't come back to Jamaica." All right, and that's one of the islands in the West Indies. And hey, one of the biggest islands, or one of the smallest islands that got the biggest impact on the world, right? I just had a person at my job that was serving a particular time, from had mentioned about their travels, and mentioned how this was their favorite place because of the hospitality and how the people take care of them. And that was a woman that pretty much seemed like she definitely enjoys to spend time off in a place where it would be as a paradise or a paradise. Okay, so we're just gonna play this video and just bring out maybe like a scripture or two, and that'll be it.
So why couldn't we leave when y'all feeding us pastries for breakfast and we still had to pay?
So you got that RIU Montego Bay. It's one of the resorts, like they have them packages where it's like a resort hotel, and you have everything kind of all included and such. Okay, but you've had that Montego Bay area had that impact with the hurricane. Okay, hurricane and Melissa went through and such. And then you got Keyshia, all right, so-called black woman. It could be Judah, so-called black Negro. Okay, and out there, which they go there like on some Stella Got a Groove back to Jamaica to have fun, man, have a lot of fun and enjoy the vibe. But the vibe has been crashed by Melissa, but they don't like that. We're having a restriction of activity because the MRF is ceasing while they down there looking for the MRF. All right, so you can check out that place, RIU Montego Bay.
Full price to stay here? Like, come on.
May I ask where you're going now?
We're going to get something to eat.
Everything closed across. Everything closed. Gas station, shopping mall, everything.
Keyshia worried about getting something to eat and trying to go off the resort, but everything mashed up. everything closed. So you ain't, you're not realizing the time. Keyshia not understanding the time in which she in. And it's the time of the mirth is ceasing. Okay. Yeah. And mirth have ceased at times in our history. It will happen again. Okay. Because of the different abominations that have been done, the Lord will bring forth lamentation and obviously the mirth to be ceased, okay, which is to be extinguished, I believe. When you're going to cease, you got Shabbath, which that's the rest, cease, okay. So this is Jeremiah chapter 7 and 34. Then will I cause to cease from the cities of Judah and from the streets of Jerusalem the voice of mirth and the voice of gladness and the voice of the bridegroom and the voice of the bride, for the land shall be desolate. That's due judgment, okay? The Lord bringing catastrophic judgment via storm, which, we always tell you. That storm was the Lord visiting that place, appointing that judgment. Isaiah 29:6, thou shalt be visited, okay, the Israelites, okay, and that's them, right there particularly, this happened in the land of Jamaica, all right, having it mainly a lot by, the tribe of Israel, being the tribe of Benjamin. You got other tribes that's going to be there, but, that's who, it's majority there. But it says, thou shalt be visited of Yahweh of hosts with thunder and with earthquake and great noise, with storm and tempest and flame of devouring fire. So, the Lord had appointed for judgment a Sa'ir, which was that whirlwind of that hurricane. All right. So, you have it that has happened, but that ain't stopping Keyshia from wanting, to still get her all-inclusive RIU Montego Bay package, which includes the food. Okay.
So what are y'all doing for gas? You all knew this storm was coming, right? So you gonna give us bag lunches, bag breakfast, some pastries?
So they don't want the bag lunches, the bag this, the bag that, the pastries. They want the jerk chicken, the curry goat, the curry chicken. I'm not sure how they got it set up, but if it's the grid has been impacted where they can't really do much without using a certain amount of petrol, gas, and that has to be conserved. A lot of them must be missing out on their experience, because if the resort can't provide that experience because of this event, which is reasonable, then Keyshia just she just needs to understand. Let's keep going.
I'm gonna Urban fix the airport so the people can go on them yard.
So she's saying they could go to their yard, which would be back or foreign here in America, because you got the tribes, they had a schism one against another. That's part of the curses. The eye being evil. Towards his brother. And that fits also the women too. Deuteronomy 28:54, these are curses that befall the nation of Israel, so that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye, meaning his mind, shall be evil toward his brother. This could be your sister too. All right. And towards the wife of his bosom, and towards the remnant of the children which he shall leave. All right. So you got to hear, It's Bunyamin for the tribe of Benjamin, most likely. She's pretty much cussing them, telling, hey, look, y'all can go on home, y'all can go home. In patois she chatting. All right, Jamaica, hurry and fix the airport so they can go home because they need to. Maybe they flying out because I think Kingston hasn't really been impacted much, if not at all. But Montego Bay, you know, uh, you check certain areas and has been attacked. Trelawney, you know. But anyway, different places.
Because frankly, I'm tired of them. And the funny thing is, it's not the
So she says she tired of them, and they would say the Yankee.
people that are complaining now, is the ones that look like us that are complaining.
So she's saying it's not the looking like so-called wheat, all right, or Edomites, okay. And they got Israelite foreigners that look like, lacking of the melon, but they go out to, and they Israelites though. They lack the melon, but they be Israelites. They go out to Jamaica to have a good time, and they have a very good time there, They not complaining, they gonna be understanding. But Keyshia not understanding.
I do the most. I do the most. So guess what? When I fix the airports and I go on a yard. And as for ungrateful people, don't come back. We don't need any money. We don't need nothing from you. Please, me, I'm gonna don't come back. It's when things are up and running again, don't come back. And if you do come back, I hope the ancestors them know what to do with them. You get.
He said, if you do come back, I hope what your ancestors know what to do with you. Yo, you guys are rude.
You guys are rude and you guys are disrespectful. Please, me, I'm gonna do not set foot on the next flight to Jamaica. There's so many other countries to visit. Don't come back.
And the people pretty much are proud, in America, for the most part. They got that entitlement complex. Thinking that just because they're American, they're supposed to get all what they supposed to get and more. All right, and it shouldn't go on so. As they would say, the Benjamites would say, right? So they're very proud. And America is very proud, as we know. His look was more stout than his fellow, and they're very arrogant. All right, so you can refer back to that precept, but I'm just going to cover this one. Ecclesiasticus chapter 10 and verse 2. As the judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that dwell therein. And we know ain't nobody more prouder than E. That man is proud. He's a proud man and keepeth not at home, as the scriptures that tell you in as that Habakkuk. Pardon me. So in the soul that's lifted up in him is not upright. So a lot of our people, Eve, of the tribe of Judah, that's going out to the West Indies, be with Benjamin, they're proud too. Okay.
Because we don't treat it well, don't come back. And us Jamaicans too, we're too a little bit enough and forgiving. I'm not telling you this. It's when time when you see them in them country and I deal with them certain type of way, leave them. Because like me say, if you check the persons that are complaining and the person where they do the most, it's not them people that do the most.
It's Keyshia. She said it's not them people. It's Keyshia that's doing the most.
Is the ones them will look like we. See, it's when you see them in them country and I deal with them any witchy water way, man on a business.
All right, so I know that the accent can get pretty crazy. I actually had to listen to it multiple different times to catch the majority of what they were saying, but let me just give you the synopsis, right? So basically, you have this hurricane that just recently happened in Jamaica. And so different posts on social media is starting to surface of people like the one person, and then there was like another person that was Americans that were visiting Jamaica that was feeling some type of way about the fact that they were still being charged full price, while at the same time they weren't getting the services, rightfully so, because a hurricane had just tore through that mug. So Jamaica was just absolutely ravaged. obviously we know that it is a tourist destination. So I don't really take what this person says that much, because they saying, well, listen, you're disrespectful, we don't like it. How can you complain when the whole country is ravaged? But then at the same time, y'all need all the tourists that y'all can get, especially now considering that y'all don't really have any industries that will hold the whole place.
Now, like I said, this dude coming from a different type of like this dude, he bit bugged out. But you know, you have it. Yes, they do rely on tourism and such. But what she's saying is truthful. Keyshia do be, you know, acting all outrageous and not understanding. Okay. Now that's up to your hotel and the policies and all of that to take care of y'all. Maybe they might say, okay, look, just come back after we rebuild. But you know, right now we accommodating your stay right now, and this is what we got. You know, and that's just what it is. You know, you gotta take what you can get. Hey, otherwise go on somewhere else, right? Or guan. All right, guan. But yeah, you know, so you know, real quick, just get this last scripture. You know, we could just leave it straight from that. The scriptures say that when you go to, I think this might be a that this is First Timothy chapter 5 and 6. But she that liveth in pleasure is dead while she liveth, man. And you know, they're not alive, man. You know, really they are in the wrong spirit. Not to tell you can't have no mirth, but you know, they dead. Okay. I'm gonna get this in the blue letter real quick. It's like she don't understand that it's a time for everything that go under the sun, and the mirth is ceasing. Okay, Keisha's still trying to continue on, like just like E with the mirth. All right, dead. You gotta hear being to be spiritually dead. She's spiritually dead. She's not understanding that the Lord just brought forth a hurricane for wickedness that's done in, of course, that land. All right, of Jamaica. All right, the scriptures talk about there before, you know, things why something appear for life or for death, you know, or for good or evil. All right, and the Lord brought both in that. Okay, dead, mawath, to die. Okay, loss of, metaphorically, of loss of a spiritual life, and they're living completely carnal. All right, so you know that's what it is. You know, and the mirth is going to continue to dry up in these times. You know, so arm yourself in the spirit. You know, shalom to you, like.